throughout today's contest. Your cooperation and positive support is greatly appreciated.
All right, welcome everyone back to the Trojan Trench. Andy O'Hara alongside me here tonight is Alexa Veers. Mason Van Fossen making his camera debut. Now to our left, Caden Hummich on the floor camera, and of course running everything else is Orion, the Hall of Famer, of course, because we don't want me doing that. So Triton comes in here tonight. This is their first game in about a week after the Argus game was postponed. They come in 3-1, and this will be their first conference matchup of the season, and Knox comes in with a 2-7 record as they come in here tonight. I didn't write any starters down, but you can go with ours.
Alrighty. For the Trojans starting, we have Jenna Bulis, Avery Veers, Clara Dahl, or excuse me, not Clara Dahl, Lena, Macy Hensley, Addison Veers, and for the libero,
Sierra
Holly. I can't find her. Sorry about that.
It's okay. We're all kind of shaking the rust off just a little bit tonight. So, of course, out there on the floor now for the Lady Redskins, we'll have Megan Tim, Grace Wackel, Journey Weber, Lauren Combs, Samantha Howard, Peyton Spinagle will be in the libero spot, Joanna White, and Jaden Williams as they will take the floor. JV won earlier tonight in 2 sets. Of course, that team's on a hot streak right now.
Yes.
So was that a seven-game winning streak? I believe so.
I believe so.
7-game winning streak. So, of course, the Triton Lady Trojans, they haven't been out since they last defeated the Bremen Lions on the road. This is their first home game because Argus was the first real home game, but that got postponed due to the air conditioner having issues last week. But we're back, and they took care of everything, and we're good to go. As Tim will start it off, we're back underway for Big Blue Slam action here from the trench. And that pass a little too close to that. Macy Hensley couldn't quite get it across, and Knox strikes first. Like I said, those first couple points, it kind of depends how quick you're going to come out and get things straightened out, I guess. I mean, like I said, for them, they watched this group here, play against Glenn that first game, and the rest of them, this is a group that once they can get on a run, they can hit real hard. There's a lot of good movement, a lot of good – I kept writing how great the front line is for this team this season.
Absolutely. I feel like this year they just have become more fundamentally sound, and when you become fundamentally sound, you see a lot of our hitters are just swinging harder and just getting through the blocks and finding holes. And
you see them with good footwork and, like I said, good defense up along the front side. Went out of bounds. And the first point for the Trojans is that hit one out. But watching this team, especially against Glenn, I kept writing their footwork and the communications all there. Like you said, fundamentally sound, that is definitely the right thing for this Triton team. So Lena Dahl will get ready to send it away. Knox looking to answer back. They'll roll it across. Setting up Addison Veers. Here comes the kill shot. She swings through. Triton wanting a tip. Long decision here, and they're going to give it to Triton. They're going to give them the tip. Looked like it was close up along the front line.
yeah.
Of course, when Addison hits it, it doesn't go through slowly. I don't even know if instant replay could get that one. Lena Dahl with 7 aces to her credit coming into this one. Howard got it across. We're going to get a double hit, our first double hit call of the evening, and it belongs to Knox. And what I really like Macy Hensley along that front line. And watching her play against that Glenn team, she was just a force to be reckoned with. Combs got it across. Snyder leaves it up. Macy Hensley swings and drives it down. Nice play there by Spinagle to dig it back up. Addison Veers again. Kill shot's good, and Triton extends their lead. 4-0 run for the Big Blue Slam. I've been watching Big Ten broadcasting on volleyball. I now watch like it's basketball anymore. Lena Dahl with another nice serve into the back row. Combs gets it across. Bulis to answer close to the net. Hannah Snyder somehow keeps it alive. And Macy Hensley drives it across. Weber headed across for the Redskins. Here comes Addison Veer, swings and drops it in the back row. Good job to find the open spot, kind of how the defense was moving. Addison kind of manipulated that and drove it right to the empty spot. She does that so well.
And that's not an easy thing to do because you have to be ready for it when you're getting into your approach. So like you just have to know like where they are at all times.
Addison Veers couldn't quite clear it that time, and Knox stops the run at 5. And we'll get some substitutions for the Lady Redskins. So Ryan's trying to get his. Uh-oh. I may have to change headsets. This one keeps cutting out. Weber on the serve. Addison Veer swings and gracefully sends it down. Nice approach, good swing. Now Maya Davis will check in. She's one that has really impressed me watching her play this year. She's in the hitting department, but the blocking up front, she is a strong player up front.
I feel like she's just gained more confidence. And when you have more confidence, that clearly shows in your play. And I just feel like she's like more vocal this year. She's getting into things. And she's just shows that she's really excited to play.
Addison Veers again through the front line, gets the kill again. Of course, coming into tonight, 55 kills, averaging just under 4 kills per set, and just under 14 kills a game. Snyder back across. Jordan trying to dial it up. A little miscue up in the front line. Point belongs to the Lady Trojans. I don't know. I think this headset just cuts out for some reason.
Okay.
I'm going to switch between sets.
You sound different.
I know. I feel like I sound different. Macy Hensley reaches to the top shelf and drives it down. Good timing, good awareness up front for her. Now if you're Knox right now, you're down by 7. Let's try to get a stop here. As they get ready on the defensive side. Spinagle passes it to the front line. Tim leaves it up top. So I don't have a number 20. Is it? I do not have a number 20. So I don't think that's. I do apologize, but we did not have one on the senior list or for the varsity. Howard back across. Snyder leaves it for Addison Veers, winds it up and drives it to the far side line and drives it in. It's the second time we've seen her find the empty spot and drive it across. As Avery Veers will now rotate in for Holly. Hensley leaves it up. Wide to the front line and blocked up front. Avery Veers. I told her after watching that Glenn game, I don't know what she was picking on herself for. She did a real great job. Like watching her in this, but the confidence with her as a sophomore has been impressive.
I feel like it's been a completely different shift from the freshman year. And I think that just comes, these girls have had another year together. Their seniors are just super good, are just really good leaders, and they know how to get each other pumped and excited, and I think you just feed off of that.
And for her, and like you said, as a freshman, it's tough playing as a freshman. I mean, it's not easy, and it's a lot to learn. The game speeds up. It's a lot more tactical than what you would experience in middle school. And for her playing some of that club volleyball and the things that she's done all the while, I know she's put in a ton of work.
Yes.
It's really starting to show.
And like club volleyball is just it's so fast paced, and you have people playing all around you, and so you really just kind of hone in on all of your skills and just really try to do what you need for your team who you don't have a real like chemistry with or anything like that. So club is very important in the sense of trying to
blocked up front again. Veers and Davis. But yeah, that club volleyball and getting that extra reps for her like that, it's been huge, and for players like that, it's definitely something worth working on your craft. Mm-hmm. Macy Hensley to go again. Triton going on a run. Tim. Leaves it back to the near side as Knox drives across Maya. Davis couldn't quite get it, and there's the stop that Knox needed to get them back on the board. As Grace Wackel will check in, she will go back to serve. Of course, Coach Evelyn, his fourth season, 68 wins to his credit. Here in his time at Triton, I'm sure that number's a lot larger because I don't have the Plymouth ones. So, nice play up front by White to get it across, and a good job up front. As Triton sends it to the back row in the corner. Coach Evelyn like that. And that'll send Addison Veers back to serve. Of course, Triton, new uniforms this year. That play up near the net, and Triton's ready for it. Davis and Veers not going to let that one come back across. You'll hear those two name a lot up on that front line. Of course, Lena Dahl up in that front line. She's done a lot of nice things. She's really matured and really developed as a nice player. Hannah Snyder, very good vocal leader, but a very good setter for this Triton team. The roll shot by Rose Webb couldn't quite clear it. And Triton takes the advantage. Like we said, of course, this is their first conference game. They'll get their next one against Culver on Thursday night. We'll host Oregon Davis back here tomorrow night. Good swing up front for White. Lena Dahl sends it down. And for Lena, one thing she's done that's impressed me is a lot of times she kind of drifted herself a little bit too close to the net at times. She knows where that net's at. She knows where that line's at, and she's doing a real good job keeping herself away from that line.
Absolutely, and I think her arm speed has just improved tremendously. Oh.
Our first ace of the game belongs to Addison Veers. But that arm speed, talk about why that's so important when you're going to go swing at a ball.
So it's kind of hard to just break it down to just one thing. It's really just working everything in together because your feet work is the most important part of it. And once you're not finding yourself off balance, so lean into the side or anything, your arm is able to open straight up. It's not hanging to the side or bent. And so what happens is when you come through all the way, you're using your whole arm and getting your hand on top of the ball and just snapping all the way through.
Getting that good hit, and like you said, that kind of stuff. That stuff takes time to learn, and takes a lot of confidence in your ability to approach, and then have to swing, like you said, as fast as you can.
And it's just so different by player, and so it's really hard to put into words how to I'm going to use this in the terms of younger kids listening, oh, maybe I can try that, and it's just so many little things go into a good hit. Yep,
that's just kind of like what they told us in baseball is. Focus on this first, then we worry about those things later. Focus on getting the ball over and the fundamentals. Then you can start to hone in your craft just a little bit. So Addison Veers back to serve as Triton with the early lead. Knox see what they can do to square it down. They had a timeout. I believe that's their second timeout. Back across as Webb sends it, finds Lena Dahl in the front side corner. Up front and ready for it, but Sierra Holly drives it back across. Strong hit, goes out of bounds by Rylan Jordan. But Joanna White had a nice hit, but Sierra Holly came out of nowhere to dig that one up. Of course, holding that libero spot that was held by Kinsey Atkins the last few years. Another ace for Addison Veers. That's 3. Count them here. Like I said, Knox, big thing for them is just going to need to settle down 1 point at a time, get that stop, and try to build on that.
One thing that I like about Knox and what I've just noticed a couple times is how they move their feet to get their hips behind the ball when they go to pass, especially when you're coming up against a jump serve. Jump serves have such a complete different spin on it. You could be so planted, and just the slightest movement of your arms will swing the ball just out anywhere.
Like you said, they're getting those good passes. Just need that finish to kind of stop, to kind of be that one momentum getter to kind of propel them. It's Triton now 3 points away from this opening set. Like you said, now after you said, I can really see, like I said, this group does a good job getting themselves in front of the ball and squaring up to it.
And see, that one was just a hard one. Like those ones that come to the upper arm, there's just no good way to go about it.
That was a nice block up front by White. Lena Dahl drops it inside the attack line. As Triton, kind of going back a few years ago when they played Culver Academy and how that team moved the floor, Triton's really starting to see things offensively, where to go with the ball and not over pursuing the defense.
Yes. And that just, I feel like, has came with a lot of maturity in their game and just having a lot more reps.
Knox got it across. Good effort. Maya Davis send it down. But I was going to say, it just went out of bounds. It's close. Football players, of course, taking their normal seats.
I was waiting to hear them.
So big point there for Knox to see if they can get something to roll here. As back to serve is Lauren Combs, one of 3 seniors on this Knox team. Avery Veers drops it across. Nice play up front there by Jade Williams to keep it alive. She wants it, and she'll send a free ball across. Snyder leaves it up top. Here comes Lena Dahl. And they're going to say, I believe that Rose Webb might have crossed into the net. Be their first net violation of the game. And Kennedy Howard will check in, and she's one that just has impressed me, especially watching her in JV, just her defense up front, and she has really transcended as a player. Maya Davis now for set point. Drops it in. Good communication by the Redskins. So Williams sends a nice swing to that front line. Dialed it up well and sent it through with authority. Snyder will check in for Howard. Spinagle now to serve. Dahl rolls it across. Spinagle tries to keep it alive, and Triton takes the opening set 25-6. So since I didn't write it down, I didn't think to grab one of those cards. Got to make sure next weekend for the Triton Blue Slam Volleyball, we'll be having a fundraiser for Bruce's Big Grill Barbecue. That is next Saturday, September 9th. Ticket price is $12. It'll be in the Triton High School parking lot. Meals to include pulled pork barbecue sandwich, chips, and water. Desserts are available with donation upon picking up your meal. All proceeds will benefit the Triton Varsity Volleyball program. Thank you for supporting our Lady Big Blue Slam. Pickup time is from 11 to 2. So it's always good barbecue. I'm usually pretty picky on my barbecue, and it is pretty good stuff.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Matt's 1-car, 2-bedroom apartment with a home office/home gym insurance. We're good at Nick's SUV and farmhouse with a remodeled kitchen/art gallery insurance.
And we're good at the Wilbur suburban home with the 2-car garage/rehearsal space insurance.
Have you seen my hockey socks?
Have you checked your sock drawer?
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
All right, welcome back, everyone, here to the Trojan Trench. Andy O'Hara alongside me here tonight is Alexa Veers. Caden Hummich on our sideline camera making his debut. Mason Van Fossen running our other side camera as Ryan just switched to him there. So Mason getting his first action here tonight on the TTSN team. He's new to the team and same grade as Caden, so it'll be good to have kind of teach him to be some backup roles. And, of course, the Hall of Famer Orion Lima. This way he can eat and be able just to be calm and take a break. If things were to kind of hit the fan, Orion can get them all straightened out. So it's good to have him and look forward to the stuff he gets to do as Orion's teaching more youngsters so you can be able to eat. You know, we keep teaching these kids. We can go to more IU football games and more IU basketball games. Maybe I can broadcast from the game there. I mean, there's a place to be quiet there. So, but either way, so we'll get the second set underway.
You still sound
bit funny, but
I think I'm guessing it was from there's a setting something there or something in there. It's just different.
You're on 1.
I'm on 1. Everything was set same. Front, rear, does that matter?
Huh.
Voice setting. Deep. Does that look different to you? I'm not gonna. I'm gonna break something. We'll just leave it alone. Lena Dahl to start it off and gets an ace right out of the gate to start this second set. That's 5 on the evening for Triton. Jenna Bulis is out there in the back line with Avery Veers and Lena Dahl. Snyder, Hensley, and Addison Veers the front line for Triton. Williams, Wackel, and I believe that's Howard on the front line for Knox. Spinagle, Webb, couldn't see the last one. And Howard the back line, excuse me, not Howard, Combs the back line for the Lady Redskins. So for Knox coming out, I mean, like you said, defensively they're getting there. This big thing for them, they just need to finish those and against a very tough front line. I mean, what kind of things, if you're coach down there, you're telling them?
Just to remember, like, if the ball is not directly at the setter, like directly in that target, try to have as much control as you can to get it to the outside. Because a lot of times, if the ball is just out of play, you're not going to get that perfect set to your middle or like your right side. Like, it's just so important to try to keep play going and use just kind of your roll shots and your tips, because those can get kills too.
Absolutely. Knox trying to battle through it. As Triton, they kind of battled in the trenches there. As Maya Davis will rotate in, and Sierra left her chair on the floor. She felt that it needed to be tipped back.
Yes. She's like, I need to get out there.
I got to hustle. I like the explosion off the bench there to get back in the game. Good hustle. Snyder goes to the back row. Tim leaves it across the way as Knox will drive it across and drops it in the ice in the inside corner. Good swing up front. Again, do apologize. We do not have number 20's number, and
Name. You have her number.
I have her number. I don't have her name. Excuse me. See, I'm still rusty. See, there you go.
There we go.
I don't know why I turned the headset on. Caden's not even using it. Dahl in the back row. Passes up to Snyder. Davis plants her feet and drives it across. Good swing from Davis. That's a good recognition. Saw that defense starting to kind of over pursue to her and saw that open side up, kind of opened up things on the far side.
Yes,
on the front line.
That is a pretty hard spot to do, even just hitting. Like, a lot of times you do a tip and a roll shot, so good for her to realizing that and still getting a swing in there.
Spinagle to Tim across the way. A nice swing coming from Jordan. Couldn't get it across, or got it across, and Triton blocked up front, and Snyder rolls.
I think we all lost our balance.
It happens. Howard now to serve. Holly handles it. Davis swings, drives it down again. Maya Davis came into tonight, 24 kills to her credit. It's got 26 on 2 we just saw. For her, good kill percentage on her hits. And Addison Veers walks right back in, and another ace for her. She came in with 9. I believe it's 14 now. Lena Dahl with another ace for her here this evening. Veers goes back row. Tim to Spinagle. She'll drive it across. Veers swings, blocked up front. Nice job along the front line for Joanna White. Of course, congratulations to Coach Baker and the JV squad winning the Triton tournament with the JV last week. I don't think that was something they didn't know what it was going to look like, but yet a group that worked hard and earned every set. I know the first couple sets, our first couple games was kind of a rough getting kind of in the flow of things, but they've really been on a roll here as lately, and I'm sure Coach has got to be real happy with her team.
Absolutely. Like, she's just so happy with the growth and just that they are learning something and, like, excited to learn.
And that violation
Wait.
Flashes those fingers so fast. Okay, so the down ref called the net violation. Triton gets it back. 3-point lead for them. Davis now to hit. Drives it a nice serve to the back row. Knox trying to bring it back and play. Williams has got to make a play, and it's not going to quite cross the antenna to hit the scores table. And the Lady Trojans take back over. Of course, Alexa's been doing a lot of work. The final push here in a couple weekends. So that's coming up. So congratulations from the TTSN crew on that.
Thank you. Very excited.
It's a great day, Bob. Congratulations on getting through it.
Yes.
That is, you know, and for me with weddings and stuff going forward, watching my siblings getting married, my wife deserves the wife of all time, the greatest of all time, because I didn't know I was getting married. I didn't have to plan anything. I just had to show up, say I do, and go home. It was perfect. No planning.
So nice.
I'm pretty sure it's a good thing I didn't plan anything, but Michelle kept it easy and simple. It's always a fun story we'll always have that I had no clue I was getting married. So there was no shotguns involved, so it was okay. I was not held against my will. But definitely a fun story for us. But you guys have my total respect. That is a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of work.
Especially over a year, you think of way too many things. So ready for it to be here and to enjoy it.
Well, hope it goes smoothly the next couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. I will make sure of it.
So Maya Davis gets an ace with that one. Be her 7th on the season. She'll dial up the lefty. Drops it across Williams, still on the return. Webb back across. Davis got a piece of it. And Bulis now will check in. And Jenna Bulis, a nice one to kind of rotate in and out. Very athletic, good defensive player. Yeah, she moves the floor extremely well. Good senior there.
Yes. Her demeanor is always so calm. Like, I feel like that's so important to have someone who, like, you can be excited and then someone who's calm. So to just dial you back in.
Oh, and speaking of which, hustle with that one. Right on cue. Williams with a nice swing, blocked up front by Veers, and Snyder sent it back for Avery Veers, and Big Sister's letting her know that was good.
They all push each other, and it just cracks me up. I have no words.
And Hennessy talking to coach. Hannah Snyder reaches to the top shelf and gets to the back corner. Snyder and the Triton front line playing strong here. That, like I said, when I watched against that Glenn and watched on tape, plus, that front line always impresses me. And the big thing for them, they're laughing, they're having fun up on that front line. And when they start laughing and having fun, that's a dangerous team.
Yes.
Webb back across. Bulis leaves it up to the front line to Snyder. Here comes Hensley. Sends it down, and they're going to get a net violation.
What?
What 1, 2.
I think 16.
Okay, we'll go 16. Maybe.
So, like, he's holding the one and then going one.
You know, one of these days, I'm just going to put a headset down there on those people and ask questions.
Right.
Avery Veers drives it across. Clara Dahl, who just checked in, another talented player off the bench for Triton. Blocked up front, but it drops it in. It's a good, strong block up front by Knox. They get the point. Clara Dahl, a sophomore, but yet she's really starting to get things figured out. Watched her play in the JV match. Moves the floor extremely well. Can tell she's developed after her freshman season. Hensley, back row, Spinagle gets a swing on it, but couldn't quite bring it back into play. Dahl will check in, and Veers now will go to the back row. And Addison and this whole senior group, you talk about leadership and good communication. You see a lot of good chemistry with this team. Spinagle couldn't quite get it, and another ace for Lena Dahl here tonight. 8 on the evening for the Trojans. Now if you're Knox, just settle back in, get that next point. Dahl with a nice serve to the back row. Spinagle goes to the front line. Williams goes to the back row. Combs got it across. Macy Hensley changes directions. Triton a lot of movement, but moving with purpose, and it goes to the back row. Spinagle couldn't quite corral it. And watching this team, like I said, you go back to the fundamental part of as far as things, but the footwork and the movement.
Yes.
You see them not just moving just to move. They're moving with purpose.
It just looks like it's became very natural to all these girls.
Kate Howell now checking in. Another one. Eula stops it. Couldn't quite bring it back. Good play by Knox to get the point there. So a 2-point swing for them. Tim will now check in. She'll go back to serve. Kate Howell, a junior, but she really took off last season.
Yes.
Definitely earned her a spot on the varsity roster. Addison Veer swings, drives it back. Spinagle handles the dig, and it goes to the bench. Open.
Oh, my goodness.
And Tim got sandwiched between two chairs there. All smiles as she gets back up, though. Tough kid. Snyder goes back row. Combs handled it. And that one dropped just in that back line. Nice recognition to see the open spot in the back row. Rylan Jordan will now check in as Jaden Williams will go back to serve. Dahl on the return. Maya Davis drives it to the back row. It's up over the tip. Hustle play by Snyder, but couldn't keep it in play. And another point for the Lady Redskins. Lady Redskins getting a conference win against LaVille earlier this season. Their first conference win. So they stand at 1-0. Snyder leaves it back up. Blocked up front by Addison Veers. Good job to put on the brakes of the net. Maya Davis catches him off guard. Nice little dump there just to kind of, I knew where I was going with it. I knew the term. But it was a nice play there. Saw the defense kind of going, and then everybody's kind of dialing up to who's going to swing, and good recognition there by Maya Davis. And a strong serve by Hensley, just trying to bait him into the back row. Right idea. Hawley checks in. As Samantha Howard back to serve. See, volleyball's not like basketball. I can't just go down the steps to get the name.
I saw your hands moving, so that's why I was like, I'm just going to help him.
Joanna White up front in the block. It's a good swing by Veers, but Coach Evenson saying got to get a little more on top of that one to drive it down. So a little run, Addison Veers stops it and drives it to the far side corner. Coach Even like that. Good form. Good approach. And just the excitement in this group here. Veers again. Spinagle handles it. Williams elects not to completely run it down as those bleachers came in a hurry.
Yeah.
Of course, the football team will host Caston on Friday night. We are a third game for them. Spinagle handles it. Tim drives it across. Hit by Jordan, goes back, and Triton a little too strong, and Knox wisely lets it go out the back line.
I'm still working on the volleyball graphics, so I don't have a schedule for us yet on there. But
Well, I started. We play Oregon Davis tomorrow. Be at Culver on Thursday, and then next week we play North Judson. So a few conference games.
before the tournament? Or
Yes, we play North Judson and Tippecanoe Valley before the tournament. Of course, that'll be next Saturday.
2 Saturdays from now.
2 Saturdays from now. No, it's after this one. It'll be the second. And that's on the 9th. So not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. And Nadal rolls it across. Davis ready up front. Spinagle brings it back in. Knox couldn't quite recover. Davis settles in. Williams goes in the front line, but couldn't quite clear the top of the net. Avery Veers was there just for insurance reasons. Coach even talking to his group on the bench, explaining he's such a good teacher along that. I mean, a guy to listen to and just the work that he puts in and trying to teach this. I mean, you got Coach Plotho down there and Coach Baker, and good to have Abby Veers down there with mom and 2 sisters. I mean, that's a good group down there, a lot of experience down there.
Absolutely. And everyone knows different parts of the game, which makes such a good coaching staff because then you can work with your different players in their strong suits.
So now a 3-player swing as Bulis and Allie Westaver will now check in. Kennedy Howard. So a few Triton starters getting a break. So they're 3 points away from possibly taking this second set. Lauren Combs, one of the 3 seniors, serves it across. Westaver leads it up for Howard, who sets it to the back row. Williams wants it on the far side. She'll swing. Blocked up front, Avery Veers, and she'll reach right back up and knocks it down. Avery with some good movement on the front line. Quick reflexes. And calmly serves it across. Let it go out, and that'll be set point now for the Trojans. Coach Plotho showing off the fancy handles down there with it's a little different. He has the Powerade towel. It's not the Gatorade towel. He said he had to change sponsorships since we sell Coke products here.
Yeah, I love it.
Spinagle sends it back across. Howard keeps it alive. Coach even is saying just settle down. It's okay. Had a right beat on it.
I think it's safe to say the sponsorship police probably aren't here to check on him. But.
Probably not. Though I love the trademark towel. I love it. Spinagle now to serve. Still set point for Triton, but Knox a 2-point swing. Talks to his front line. Spinagle again. Westaver up front. Westaver keeps it alive. Howard to set it to the back corner. Spinagle brings it back into play. Williams wants it. Tips it across. Hensley's there. Westaver sets it across to Lena Dahl. Goes up front. Blocked up front with a pair of Samantha Howard and Rose Webb. It's one thing. You've seen some nice things on the front line for Knox here tonight, especially defensively. They get their hands up. And they're getting good deflections. They're starting to time it. You can see the improvement between set to set.
Absolutely.
Up close to the net. Macy Hensley tries to take the second. Couldn't get that one to drop in. She wants it. She goes right back down. Howard. Spinagle, but they're going to get a net violation on Howard. Triton's first net violation of the game, and Snyder will check in. And if you're Kennedy right now, you can't hang your head because, like I said, this game's a little faster than what you just had in the JV match. She's a good player. She's a smart player. Just a couple rough attempts there. Look for her to straighten it out. Snyder goes back row. Leads up for Williams close to the net, and she's going to have to send a free ball across. Hensley tips it back across. And that attempt by Rose Webb couldn't quite clear, and Triton takes this second set 25-18.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance. We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance. And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Welcome back, everyone. Andy O'Hara alongside me here in tonight's ball game is Alexa Veers, Caden Hummich, Mason Van Fossen, and the Hall of Famer Ryan. We're here for the Triton Sports Summer, broadcasting live on YouTube in the IHSAA Champions Network. So Triton took those opening 2 sets. Looking to keep it going here. Addison keeps glancing up here.
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to hear something.
Oh, it'll be all right. They got a problem, I'll just tell her to come talk to me. So it's
Maybe she wants to do a post-game interview.
Please.
yeah, right.
Just spring it on her and make her do it.
I got Kenny's make me work on questions, so I'm dialing up a few extra ones. Snyder back across. Hensley comes in trying to go to that far side. Had the right idea, just couldn't quite get it to clear. Saw that opening in the front corner. Good recognition by her. Tim again. On the return. Veers sets back, plants her feet, and goes across. Snyder up to Hensley. She tips it. Williams keeping it alive. Spinago's back row. Holly handles it. Hensley trying again. Aston Veer's encouragement. Dahl now tips it across and gets her opening point here of the third set. Stops the Knox run with 2. And Dahl to go again. Had a couple aces to her credit tonight. Addison Veers drives it back. And Knox couldn't quite recover, but a good hustle effort to try to keep it alive. Lena Dahl settles back in. Veers up front, making sure they got that wasn't coming back again.
I guess I didn't get the memo to wear white tonight.
Well, I was trying to plan out. We got 3 games this week that we're going to call. So trying to figure out, well, football's already planned out for what that's going to be on Friday night. But I'm like, I haven't broke out this one yet this year. Veers, too strong out the back row. I was kind of afraid. I'm afraid to wear this. I'm afraid to wear white.
That's why I don't.
Well, I figured I can't just leave it in there all the time.
Well, and I knew we were having sloppy joes, so I...
Well, there was no warning text from you. I ate sloppy joes and I did not get this shirt dirty, so it's all good. Snyder sends a free ball back across. Knox dialing it up, but too strong. Howard may have hit that one just a little too.
The set could have been higher because especially when you're coming out of middle, you want to hit your corners and like your angles. And so for that, she was just getting to where she could just make very minimal contact and was like at the top of her swing.
Trying to set it, Tim had the right idea to go back, had an open look over here, but a little overset that one. And Tim's she's a nice setter. She gets herself in position. She leaves it to, like I said, for her, that senior doing a nice job on the front line. Comes right back, good set there. Up the front, but Triton's block up strong. It was strong, but it goes out of bounds on the hit from Ryland Jordan. Good strong hit for her. Triton just didn't quite deflect it into play. I usually go back to listen and see what Coach Perry said so I can make sure I've learned something. Maya Davis goes back row, and it goes out of bounds, but they're going to say that Knox was in the net.
I did attend the season opener for junior high volleyball last night at LaVille.
There you go.
7th grade lost in 3, and 8th grade won 2-0.
I worked on this stuff. A good idea to try to get a hit for Jordan. Saw that empty spot, but they wanted to tip up front. They say it went out of bounds. As Jordan wanted that one. Tim dumps it across. Davis returns the favor. Jordan drives it. Veers couldn't quite corral, but a good recognition by Rylan Jordan to go into that front side corner. These two teams kind of trading punches here in this early going of the third set.
They're getting a feel for how each other plays and where, hitters are hitting, and now you get to amp it up a little bit, it feels like.
And Knox, you can definitely see the improvement. A good swing up front by Addison Veers. As goes out on Joanna White. Had the right to get her hands up for a block. That one goes out of bounds. Another ace for Addison Veers, and down goes the camera.
Oh, I was waiting for that to happen. I missed it.
I heard the noise, and I knew what happened. iPad down. We were sitting, of course, tonight's the first night I've got to actually call the game with being up on. We're going to come up with a name for the platform. Veers, nice play up front. Avery Veers again, good front line play by her. But when they were warming up down there, I told the boys, said, if Orion and I are not up here, I want one of you here to make sure that ball does not hit the camera or hit the computer or the camera, because they're warming up in front of us. Still, it just freaks me out. We're closer to the ball. Maya Davis. Good approach, good hard swing. And a good drive by her.
Maybe there's a Roman name for like the lookout or something like the Trojans would have used or something.
Well,
We'll have to do some research.
Sounds like Orion just gave himself an assignment. Well, I'm sure we'll think of something. And a timeout for Knox. So like we said, Oregon Davis, we will have that game tomorrow night. Triton will be down at Culver. I believe Orion's going to go. I unfortunately cannot go because this hair has got to get cut off.
It will not be live on our channel.
It will not be live on our channel.
We're not sure if it'll be live elsewhere, but eventually it'll be on our channel.
Yes, and eventually it'll be there. It'll be there.
So will junior high volleyball from last night.
We'll see. Maybe I might track my way down after getting my hair cut, but it's got to happen. Michelle said I can't shave my head. I said it'd be cheaper. But Misty's got to cut my hair, so I'm pretty picky on who cuts my hair. Misty does a good job, so give her a shout out.
She cuts my hair.
See? I'm pretty sure she cuts everybody on the TTSN crew's hair.
Oh, she cuts Kenny's.
Misty doesn't cut your hair, does she?
No.
Well, and then that's I was just going down the crew who might be.
I honestly haven't cut my hair in probably a year because I've been trying to grow it out.
I can't do it.
Because I want to donate it after the wedding.
Good swing up front, but a block. Maya Davis having herself a night. Look at the enthusiasm.
I love how excited all of them get because it just keeps just the excitement going and good play going.
It kind of reminds you of that group where a few years ago, that senior group, the first year that Coach Evelyn, that group's just the goofiness.
Yes.
and just and another ace for Addison Veers. But you're definitely kind of seeing that with this group. They've played with each other enough. They've now know each other's tendencies. They've gotten a lot closer as a group. You're definitely seeing that now, and it's very awesome to see.
Absolutely. Especially when you spend most of your day together. Like at school, I know some of them have a lot of the same classes and then coming to practice and just doing that 5 days a week.
And a good job up front, Lena Dahl. I mean, it was a good block attempt by Knox, but the communication where she got out of the way and said it was out. Good job by her. And Macy Carson will check in for Addison Veers. And Macy Carson with a nice serve across. Joanna White got it with a nice hit for Knox. Lena Dahl tips it over top of the front line. Spinagle back up front. Webb with a good swing. Snyder with a bump pass up front. Here comes Lena Dahl. Blocked up front. We're going to get a net violation on Knox. It's going to be on, I guess they're going to call on Grace Wackel. And Macy Carson back to serve again. You know, these reserves playing some very nice minutes out here tonight. And a good tip across. Gets Knox back on the board. Look at that. Caden, cat-like reflex. Now, did you see how he protected our camera?
I did not.
I'll tell you what. There's a secret to getting Caden to focus on about every single ball game or anything.
Well, he let the football hit my tripod the other night.
Well, I can't help you there. Did you tell him that Bryson Hanna was out on the football field? Because I guarantee he'll pay attention.
Oh.
And a little roller across the top of the net. No, after that by county last year.
Oh, that's right.
I told him, I said, now, if Bryson Hanna comes at this camera, you just get out of the way. And the whole game, his eyes, he never took his eyes. When Bryson came down to that end of the floor, he never took his eyes off of him. It was so funny. He goes, I was not going to get ran over by him.
No.
Davis goes to the back row. Of course, Bryson probably would have sacrificed life and limb to not hit him, which it didn't come close. Beers goes back, and they're going to sit down and hit the sideline. So Avery, another nice play. Caden's done a good job, of course, in his second season as a camera operator. Ryan gets him in the picture there.
Got the new banners down there.
Yeah, got the new banners down there. We even have a team window down here on this side.
Well, if the iPad was in the way, I'd put it over there, but
that's all right.
We don't usually have an iPad down there. It's not ours, but
nope. So, I mean, the team's growing just a little bit. Of course, Jeremiah Farrell helping for football this year. We had Hunter McIntyre. I'm sure Tyler's got to get Mason over there on the camera, of course. Now, see, these boys have got to learn. There's a possibility the camera can be looking. There's a reason why I don't do that leader shot or anything like that or anything down on the floor, because I know there's a camera watching.
We'll give him a break since it's his debut.
Hey, you know what? He's done a fine job. He's learning. It just, like I said, it takes some time to get used to the flow and how to zoom in, how to zoom out, but he's done a nice job. He's willing to learn. That's Mason's other job we're going to give him, is once we get it working, is the running the music. And I can't tell you how excited I am for that, so I don't have to do it anymore, or Ryan doesn't have to do it anymore. So it's good to have Mason as a part of the team. Of course, 2 8th graders. So it means we got job security for the next 5 years. So we don't have to hunt just yet. So Davis back to serve again. Had an ace earlier this evening. Williams once on the front side corner. Good swing. The block is strong, but it deflects out of bounds. But a nice approach by Williams and a good hard swing.
She definitely used the block on that, because the block, when it goes out of bounds, like, you can tell when they just have their hands straight up, because the hit will determine that. When you move your hands for which side you want it to deflect, there's just a huge difference with it.
Vinny Prater getting involved. Good hands. What you want to see from your protecting your fullback. I think it needs to be the other way around. And an ace for Knox. Coach even trying to focus up his team on the floor. Kind of starting to fall asleep a little bit.
And it's just little things at this point, like just especially with playing as long.
Sierra Hawley gave up her body on that one to keep it alive. Lena Dahl couldn't quite clear it. Madison Veers checks back in.
I got 53 watching.
Well, appreciate everybody watching. I'm sure Danny's watching. It's not quite her bedtime yet. Madison Veers rolls it across. Williams sets it right back. Veers stops it. Snyder across the way. Here comes Lena Dahl. Goes back row, up off the ceiling and down. Lena Dahl with a nice strong hit here from the near side corner. Good passing up front as well. And Avery Veers goes back to serve. Hensley checks in for Holly. But that goes back to Sierra Holly and just gave up, went for broke to keep that serve return alive. It's a good effort by Holly. Spinagle sends the free ball across. Bulis handles it. Snyder up. Here comes Hensley. Tips it over top the front line. Good recognition, Macy Hensley. Macy, this group is so much fun to watch. their little pushing they do of each other. Macy was not prepared for it.
They're just very animated with each other.
Holly with a deep serve, but it goes out of bounds and almost hits the iPad again. Tim will now check in. She'll go back to serve. Knox with a two-player rotation. Trying to extend this to another set. Tim goes back row. Veers stops it. Dahl passing it back into play.
That one was tricky. This is just where they need to dial it in and then learn how to finish.
Big learning moment for the Trojans as Knox trying to climb back in. Snyder across. Here comes Hensley. Good drive by Macy Hensley. She had those two in the second, or I guess was it this set, just didn't quite go her way. But look at the adjustment. And that's one thing, but Macy has always impressed me is she may get down on a couple plays, but she's going to come right back, and those two plays are going to get made up for her, and I'll guarantee she'll one up it before the end of the game.
Yes. And she just comes out at hard and aggressive, which is exactly what you want at the end of the game. And if you just haven't had, like, very good moments.
Coach even turning around, talking to his team, explaining. Alina Dahl now. Knox handles the return. Good swing up front. Macy Hensley up front for the insurance reasons to keep it back, and we have a Knox player slow to get up. That floor is unforgiving as Triton now 2 points away.
It's a little more forgiving than it used to be.
Yeah, that's for sure. Alina Dahl, strong serve to the back row, trying to push the back row back. Knox goes back to serve. Williams now on the serve. Lewis handles it, goes back across. Knox couldn't quite handle it, and now it's match point for the Trojans. And Davis and Bulis will change places as Hannah Snyder, the senior, back to serve. Hannah's one. I love her vocal leadership. Always seen it. Always has a good attitude. Tim across the way. Blocked up front, and Triton gets their first conference win of the season as they take this one 3 sets over Knox. They will improve to 4-1 on the season and 1-0 in the Hoosier North Athletic Conference. Knox will fall to 2-8 on the season and get their first conference loss. Of course, I don't have stats, so.
Yeah, those don't come till usually about midnight.
I may not stay up that late. Until next time, I'm Andy O'Hara with Alexa Veers, Caden Homich, Mason Van Fossen, and the Hall of Famer Ryan Limler. Until next time, remember the Trojan way.